There are stories that never make the history books, stories written not in ink, but in the calluses of working hands, in the smell of wood smoke after a long winter, in the sound of a mother humming while she mends clothes by candlelight. My name is Haruko. I am 82 years old, and I want to tell you what it felt like to be alive in rural Japan in the 1950s, before the world you know existed. Most people today think of Japan and they see bullet trains, neon lights, technology that seems like science fiction. But I grew up in a Japan that looked nothing like that. A Japan of mud roads and oil lamps, of hunger that sat in your stomach like a stone, of a country trying to remember who it was, after the war had taken almost everything. This is my story. I was born in 1943, in a small farming village in Niigata Prefecture, in the mountains along the Sea of Japan coast. Snow country, we called it. And that name was not poetic. It was a warning. The winters there were unlike anything most people experience. Snow so deep it would bury the first floor of your house. We had special tools just for digging ourselves out each morning. By February, the village looked like it was buried alive. Our house was a farmhouse, old wood, dark and creaking, with a sunken hearth in the center of the main room. The smoke from that fire went straight up through a hole in the roof. In winter, your eyes would sting constantly, but you never moved away from it, because the cold on the other side of that smoke was worse. My family worked rice. That was everything. Rice was not just food. It was currency. It was status. It was the reason you woke up before dawn every single day from spring until autumn. My father, my mother, my grandparents, my 2 older brothers and I, 6 people, all worked the same paddies that my great-great-grandfather had worked. After the war ended in 1945, food was rationed. Fabric was rationed. There were years when we ate rice mixed with barley, stretched with wild vegetables my mother foraged from the hillside, just to make it through until the next harvest. I remember being 6 years old and not understanding why my stomach hurt. My mother would say, "Eat slowly, Haruko. Make it last." I did not know then that she was giving me her portion. You do not forget that. Even at 82, I have never once in my life wasted food. Not a single grain of rice. My children used to laugh at me. Now my grandchildren do. I just smile. They did not know that hunger. School was a walk of 40 minutes each way, through rice paddies, across a small wooden bridge, and up a hill. In snow season, we walked that path in boots made of straw. They would soak through within the first 10 minutes. We had one classroom for 3 grade levels combined, about 30 children, 1 teacher, and a single wood-burning stove that heated only the front half of the room. The children in the back wore their coats all day. But I loved school. I loved it fiercely. Not because it was comfortable, it was not, but because it was the one place where the world opened up beyond the rice paddies. Our teacher told us that learning was the one thing no one could take from us. I believed him completely. I was good at mathematics. Good enough that my teacher spoke to my father about continuing my education. My father listened politely, nodded, and said nothing for a long time. He was not a cruel man. He simply could not imagine a world where a daughter's education came before the harvest. I did not continue past middle school, but I never stopped reading. Every book I could find, every newspaper. Long after my brothers had gone to sleep, I would read by the light of a small oil lamp, turning the pages slowly so they would not rustle and wake anyone.